Good morning, everyone. Welcome along.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We'll just give everyone a moment to come in. And in the meantime, please do feel free to say hello in the chat. Tell us where you are joining us from today. Maybe tell us what you got up to over the weekend, since it was International Women's Day, and this is the focus of our meeting today. So please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. There's a couple more people just coming in. Fantastic. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first of 3 sessions this week, all looking at women's entrepreneurship. I'm delighted to welcome colleagues along today. We have got Yan Miao and Rose Dean joining us from Enterprise Evolution and the Women's Organisation. We are in their very capable hands to talk us through the focus of women's entrepreneurship. But before I hand over to Yan, I'll just tell you a little bit about Entrepreneurship4All, the programme in general. Some of you might already know us. You might have joined us for the previous academies that we've had. If you have, give us a little wave so that I know. I definitely was there for both of them. But if you're new here, you're also very welcome as well. Entrepreneurship4All is a project that's backed by the European Commission. Through this project, we have launched a fantastic learning ecosystem, which has got 4 levels of learning for new and emerging entrepreneurs. And there are 5 topics that our learning focuses on: entrepreneurship, sustainability, digital skills, financial literacy, and importantly for this week, women's entrepreneurship. So Yan, I will hand over to you. Please get us started. But just so you know, the meeting is being recorded today. If you have any questions, just pop them in the chat and we might get the chance to hear from you as well. So Yan, over to you.
Thank you, Megan. I'm just going to share the screen to see everyone can see the screen.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, does anyone can see? Brilliant. Welcome, everyone, to today's session on redefining success. Women entrepreneurs share their journeys. And this is our day 1, as Megan said, for Entrepreneurship4 Women Academy. And my name is Yan from the Enterprise Evolution. And also, I have another role as a business advisor at the Women's Organization, which one of the guest speakers will talk about some of the support that we have been given to entrepreneurs. And today's session, we will explore different perspectives on success, hear from inspiring women leaders, and create your own vision of success that truly aligns with your value. While we are waiting for people to come in, maybe just tell us where you join us from as we come into the next part, sort of an icebreaker activity that we'll do first. So what we'll do first is we'll look at lights. What does success mean to you? So this is where the first sort of a bit time for reflection and looking at what does success mean to you? Success is often measured in numbers, as we know, like revenue, and profits, market shares. Whether you're a startup, growing a business, these are the things we talk about in business. But today we want to challenge that notion. Success is also about not just about financial growth. It can also about purpose, impact, resilience, and personal fulfillment. So we want you to think beyond money and what makes you feel accomplished, fulfilled, and truly satisfied in your work and life. So we want to give you a couple minutes, maybe type in the chat about what does success mean to you, and let's have a look. What's your perspective on that? Just gonna open the chat, have a quick look. Oh, we got people from all over the world, Italy, Egypt. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's have a look. Yeah, so we got fulfillment and balance. Yes, absolutely. And it's about financial security and working hard to achieve our goals. It's also about freedom to be and then do what I wanted to do. That's very important. And it's about quality of life. I think it's absolutely important. And balance of fulfillment work. Impact, making a difference. Yes. And see other women grow as well. That is absolutely right. And we've got Martina saying making a difference, meaningful, doing some meaningful project. freedom, purpose. I can see all these, important words coming up from the chat. The freedom, purpose, and it's also we got Tasmin saying the success be able to serve people, but also take care of a family. So it's work-life balance, isn't it? That's absolutely important for us. Oh, yeah, I think we've got lots of ideas, and then we can see this different perspective and your thoughts on that. So this is really what we want to talk about today. How women entrepreneurs define success. Success looks different, as we can see from the chat. Different people have different ideas about what success means to them. And it's about aligning your business with your personal values. And now we're going to, we reflected on our own definition of a sex, and we're going to hear women who have navigated their own journey and redefined success in a powerful ways. And we have, 3 incredible guest speakers with us today, each with a unique story and a perspective on success. And I invite each of them to share their experience and challenges and the lessons they've learned. So we're going to welcome our first guest speaker, and we call them Success Hot Seats, Lorraine Acheson, who is the Managing Director of Women Business Northern Ireland. And we're just going to welcome Lorraine. Can we hear you?
Yeah.
Hi, Lorraine. Thank you very much for coming today.
You're very welcome. And yes, thanks for having me. And it's just so wonderful seeing all the different countries that people are on.
I know. Yeah, we see Italy, Egypt.
The whole world. That's really lovely. And I'm here in sunny Northern Ireland. I'm delighted to say that we've got our one day of sunshine.
Yes, absolutely. We are, a very sunny day today as well. Maybe cold than yesterday. We had like spring yesterday. So I think we'll start the first question about, we want to know about, Women Business Northern Ireland.
Yes.
And the sort of work you do to support women entrepreneurs. So maybe
Absolutely.
tell us about your work in Northern Ireland.
Sure. So Women in Business Northern Ireland has been established for 22 years. So we are a charity, and we provide women with support, skills and connections, either to start and grow their business. So that's the part of our organisation that focuses on women entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But we also work with women in the workplace, in every workplace. So for those women, it's really about helping them thrive in their careers. We're a charity. We have over 10,000 members, and those women are individual entrepreneurs, and then there are also women who might work in the private sector, the public sector, or the charity sector. And in terms of women entrepreneurs, we run events and programs throughout the year. So we run over 70 events a year that bring women together to meet other women, a mixture of face-to-face and online, and to talk about their challenges, what they're doing around their business, to make connections. So those connections might become customers or suppliers. They might become collaborators. And it really is about bringing people together. We run face-to-face programs, and we do that across the island of Ireland, so in the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland as well. So a real mix of programs, Jan, but it really always is with that aim of supporting women to start and grow their businesses.
Absolutely. So I think, this is, so important for charity and organization like yourself, play a role to supporting women entrepreneurs, like you said, whether to start or grow. And I believe you have an upcoming award. So, and, I want to know about that award, and then how do you actually measure the success when you select an award recipients,
Okay,
quality,
sure.
Yeah.
So you're right. So Women in Business holds an annual award ceremony, and this year will be the 13th year. And the reason we do this is because we know there's lots of award ceremonies for businesses out there, but all too often the majority of finalists and winners are men. And we definitely saw that when we started the awards 13 years ago. Now, thankfully, that's changing. But what we find is that sometimes women, we're so busy we're running our business, we're managing so many things, and we've got our heads down, and we're not really lifting our heads to celebrate success.
Yes.
So the awards are really a positive opportunity to celebrate the success of women, both women entrepreneurs and women in the workplace. And we really encourage women to think about nominating themselves, but also nominating their colleagues and their team members, because it really is about saying these are the role models and the inspirational women out there doing brilliant work every day. And I think, as I said, too often we might be focused on all the things that are not getting done, all the problems, all the things that are going wrong. And that's important, but actually if we don't celebrate success too, then we're really missing something important. So it's Thursday night, our annual awards. We had nearly 300 applications from women, and we've got about 70 finalists coming together in Belfast on Thursday night. And it's a real night of success. And for us, because connection is at the heart of what we do within Women in Business, one of the things we do before the awards night is we actually bring all the finalists together for a special lunch. So we had that a couple of weeks ago. We bring all the finalists together to get them to connect with one another, to develop those relationships, but also to be inspired by one another too. So it's a really feel-good event. And I think at the moment there's so much dismay and despair in the world, and everything that we're hearing online, actually it's really refreshing to bring women together in a really positive way and to say, look, aren't you all brilliant, and let's just, you know, celebrate ourselves.
Brilliant. That sounds like a great event coming up on Thursday. And I think, you know, it's also very important that, you know, women support each other, uplifting each other, collaborate with each other. And it's so important. And I think, you know, this is aligned with our E4 platform, with a specific pathway dedicated for women entrepreneurs. So it is, you know, great to see the fantastic work you're doing in Northern Ireland. And so I want to see, you know, when you're selecting those award nominees, you know, so what are the qualities or the sort of achievements, and what will make those nominees stand out? So I think, you know, for women, you know, coming to those sessions, if they're running their business, if you're looking to grow, and, you know, they want to get a bit inspiration as well when you, you know, doing these award, you know, nominees.
Yeah, so I guess like any awards or competition, I just realized I need to plug my laptop in. I thought it was plugged in. This is very unprofessional, isn't it? But this is also real life, isn't it? When we forget to plug ourselves in.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No problem.
And I love that this has been recorded and captured, but that's okay.
Well, technical problems.
Technical problems, exactly. I think I'm the technical problem. So we have criteria around different categories. So for instance, we have criteria around an award for management and leadership, and then we have an award for the best startup business. And so they're quite different criteria. So for the management and leadership award, that's really showcasing a woman who is leading her organization and her team and making strides, often in developing people who are coming after her. Often you see women in those roles who are also mentoring, and they're doing work with their community. So it's a real leader in their field.
Yeah, and then I suppose the leaders means not only, you know, having impact on the business, but also maybe creating the social values, you know, so
100%. And I think that's what we do see, the women who set themselves apart to win these awards, they're inevitably doing multiple things, and you know, they're leading in their communities as well as in their own businesses. You're just right, Anne.
Yeah, and then also creating impact, isn't it? You know, impact for society. Yeah,
it is. And I think that's, I guess, any tips for people who are thinking of applying for any awards, and I would imagine it's the same no matter where you're located, that you need the evidence. So you need the evidence of your impact. So that's using numbers and facts to say, actually, as a result of this led to, maybe it's more sales, growth in sales, some growth in productivity, the growth of the team. Maybe it's raising money for charity, or if you're contributing in the community. But the evidence behind those applications is really important, and that's what differentiates the different applicants.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, you know, we all contribute into society in a different way, isn't it? Like, you know, whether that's impact, whether that be financial contribution, it's really important for us to looking into those qualities and achievement those women have made. And just on a final question, conscious of time. So have you seen the definition of success evolve for women entrepreneurs over the years? I mean, you've been in the sector for nearly over 20 years now. Did you see any sort of, you know, things change or, you know, evolve?
So I guess for women entrepreneurs, we know accessing finance is increasingly important. So where you're seeing women raise finance, I think that's a real change that's increasing, and women are raising more finance to support their businesses. So I think that's a factor. I think with regards to success in general, I think how we view success has also changed, and success is no longer linear. I think success comes with ups and downs, and we know with businesses, there's, it's not a linear success. So we recognize sometimes the success is when there was a failure, perhaps during COVID or as a result of a certain time, and the resilience to pick yourself back up again and to grow the business again after a difficult time. So I think success isn't just this kind of trajectory to the top.
Absolutely.
There's the ups and downs, but it's the resilience that gets you through that. And I think women showcase that in spades.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Lorraine. I think you mentioned really an important quality of women and setting or running the business, being resilient, and this is the topic we actually covered on the last academy. So for those women who attended last academy, we actually had one session on how do you build business resilience. Yeah, but thank you so much, Lorraine. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, and I wish you all the best on Thursday events, and all the women have a fantastic time on Thursday. Celebrate their success. And then thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. And I'll just say to everybody, we've got brilliant social media on Instagram and on LinkedIn, so you'll be able to see lots of pictures and posts on those channels, so do have a look.
Yes, please. And then if you do have those links, if you could pop in the chat, and
I'll do that now.
Megan will share that with the people attending today and all around the world. So
I know how exciting.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Thank you, Lorraine. And we're going to introduce our next guest speaker, and they are Joanne McCormick and Sara Burgess, and who are the founder of Ava and Harrison Children Hair Salon. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the session, part of my role as a business advisor working at the women's organization, I've worked with Joanne and Sara about 7 years ago, and I've seen their sort of journey in terms of being a women entrepreneur, starting and growing that business, and being very resilient as well. They have been through the sort of COVID and a lot of difficulties, but they're still thriving and growing their business. And we would like to welcome them. So I would like to ask Joanne and Sara introduce the business. And I think, before we start, I think, Lorraine just mentioned about award ceremony. I think you have won a lot of awards, and then one of them being, and to the women's organization, and you have won the numerous. I mean, on the slides, you'll see our European founders has featured you in their magazine. So such a great success, So welcome both Joanne and Sara. So I'll just let you introduce your business first. Thank you.
Hi everyone. You okay? Yeah, so we are Ava and Harrison, and we are an inclusive family salon. We specialise in children's hairdressing, with many children having special education needs or extra needs and challenges. We do from newborn right through to adults as well, and it can be as challenges, and it's extremely rewarding, and it gives a lot to the community that we didn't even know when we first started up.
Yeah, and I think the fact that you are now in the salon, so it shows how dedicated our women are. And you're actually a day off today, but they're still going to the salon, and I think it's showing the dedication, determination, how much they they love what they're doing, and how much they wanted to make sure the business success. So I just wanted to ask you about how do you feel when do you actually feel truly successful in your entrepreneur journey? And what's actually happened? Just tell us a couple of examples.
I think when we first started up, we first went to the women's organisation. We had a fantastic idea. Well, we thought it was. So we went to the women's organisation, very similar to Lorraine's, and to see was there any scope with what we were doing. It was a big leap of faith. There was lots of worries of trying to find cash flow, how we were going to fund it, how would that work, and so on and so on. During our refurbishment, took 8 weeks. We were like, 8 weeks, we're like, are we doing the right thing? Can we find, is this going to work, if I'm honest? And the day came, we put our sign up for the first time. And the second it said specialised children's salon, a young mum took a picture from her car and said, wow, look at this. And she posted us on Liverpool Babies, Bumps and Toddlers group. It was a forum for mums with children. Amazing. There was, at the time, there was 6,000 what are they called? People on there. 6,000 loggers.
Just even before you start the business, got 6,000.
This before
Wow.
we even opened.
Yeah.
We were getting ping, 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 messages. We were like, yeah, we're opening. Children's, yeah. We were like, okay. Oh, my child's got autism. My child's got this. And we were like, everyone's welcome. Yeah, that's fine. So that was great. And then that didn't stop. We then got messages from parents and teachers associations, and it was obviously from the help of the women's organisation making us find the right location where we first set up and things like that. And then we also, Family Go Live contacted us, and they put 20,000 magazines in children's bags annually. So for a start, we started off well, and we were like, wow, this is going to work. In our hearts, we felt this could work, you know.
Yeah, and also I think your business is really unique. You know, you stand out, and also, you know, the sort of the you know, unique skills that you have working with those children with, you know, special needs, and make your business really sort of stand out from your competitors. And there's a huge demand. I think, like the success you said in the beginning, there's a huge demand in the market that they want a service like yourself. Yeah.
We opened up with just the two of us. Yeah. By the end of the first day, the second day, we need staff.
That's a huge success.
Why we had like 10 staff within like a week, within no time whatsoever. Yeah.
I know. So the success is actually on the sort of absolutely at very beginning. You know, there's a huge demand. There's a value you're providing.
The value was there. The value was there. Yeah. We believed it would happen. We've done similar many years ago, and we were like, it should work. But the success depends on what you expect it to be. Is it monetary, or is it about what you're giving back to the community, or you know, how you feel about it is different. The success comes for us. We know we give a lot to the community, and we get a lot of praise. We get lots of good reviews. We have been nominated for like several different business awards, and we've won one with yourselves.
Yes.
Even with the EVAs, which is like the women's entrepreneurship as well. So we were nominated for that. So, and it's a feel good factor. Along with challenges and things like that, it's a feel good factor. And you know, it was a massive big step. And you know, there's been ups and downs, some negatives from family and friends when we first started, but you know, you've got to have that belief and power on and believe in what you're doing will work. And it has. It has. We're still
and also I think, you know, the fact is, you know, I mean, obviously because I work with you, I know, you know, the fact that you're creating jobs and you are contributing to the local economy, you know, so
I just said to you earlier, you know, when we first started, it was just to leave our jobs and do what we know would work, and to get some of the comments there, some freedom, some you know, some support for our finances, for our futures and different things. What we didn't think of is the amount that we actually do put to the economic growth of the local area. We're giving jobs to people, and you know, and what we do for the community. We get involved with lots of different charity events and different things like that. But it's a very vulnerable clientele that we do.
Yes.
And you know, there's lots of people who sometimes they go to salons and they're refused because they can't continue the service for whatever it be. So, you know, people come to us and they're very upset. So we offer a service that makes people feel good, and that makes us feel good, and that knocks on our success as well, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can see, you know, how you know, sort of start from, you know, 7 years ago now, still growing and, you know, had huge demand. That shows, you know, it's important for the community, and that's bring you the success. But also, I think, you know, success sometimes also come, you know, sort of sometimes challenges or difficulties. Maybe just, you know, a couple of examples to tell us how you sort of overcome those challenges and difficulties.
I think the first one was cash flow. We had this idea, how did we find it? Again, the women's organisation helped us. They helped us put us in the right place for funding, because there's funding everywhere. But if you don't know that, you don't know where to find it. And so obviously that was like the first thing, and keeping that cash flow going, hitting the pandemic and stuff like that, and how we had to get extra grants so that we wouldn't have known any of this without extra support along the way. But cash flow, sometimes you can plan ahead for what's happening, and doing that business plan, you need support. And again, the women's sorry for banging on about the women's organisation. It made such a difference. And same with this community now, it's having that extra support. Someone, when you see a business plan, it's knowing what to put in it, what information needs to go there, what cash flow that you don't even think that you need to think about. Music licenses and there's so much, right down to pensions and things that like you wouldn't even dream of. You just think of your business, this is what we want to open up, and that's it. And then the reality hits.
Well, I think absolutely, Joanne. I think you're absolutely right. I think as we the women's organ coming to the Entrepreneurship for All platform, we put a lot of an effort and bring our expertise into the platform and dedicate a section on finance. So for those of you who want you to find out more about how to start your business, looking at the startup costs, as Joanne said about developing a business plan, all the information are on our E4 platform. And we also talk very much in details about cash flow, both for starting up or looking to grow or scale up your business. There's loads of information on the platform. So making sure if you haven't signed up, and this is a great bite-sized learning, free to all of you. So you're more than welcome to join the platform, and we can share of knowledge, as we have a lot of case studies as well. So thank you so much, Joanne, and Sara, for joining us today and share your journey with us. And and I wish you all the success in many years to come. And I knew you have achieved so much. You have done so much for your clients. I've been to your salon before, and the efforts and the quality of service you provide is unbelievable. I think you've done an amazing job. It's very tiring job as well, managing staff, looking after the client. But I want you to look after, both of you look after yourself as well. Very important, work-life balance, But it's a pleasure to have you today, and you're more than welcome to stay, to listen. We have one more guest speaker, but we'll see you soon. Thank you very much, Joanne.
Bye.
So, bye-bye. So we are now going to welcome our third guest speaker. Name is Lola Onipko. She's the co-founder of Invest in Bravery. She's also a consultant and a mentor. So I will ask her, Lola, to introduce yourself and also tell us your entrepreneur journey and what sort of inspiration you have to pursue an impact-driven venture. Welcome, Lola.
Thank you so much, Jan, and thank you for having me today. It's just wonderful to see so many women all around the world. I know we have some men as well in the chat. I saw so good, even better, diversity.
I've been really interested to find out your story. I mean, I work with Joanne and Sara, but you're the one I really want you to learn more about what you do.
Definitely. So, I mean, you asked me about my entrepreneurial journey. So maybe let me give you a little bit of a snapshot of the story. My passion for entrepreneurship started in childhood because my mom ran a grocery shop. So I had the role model early on. And maybe already, I think I was around 12 when I was selling pens and stickers to my friends. But frankly, it wasn't like I had this clear vision. I want to be an entrepreneur. No, it definitely wasn't like that. I think the only thing I knew since I was a little girl, because I'm from Ukraine, from central part of Ukraine, I didn't have the opportunity growing up, seeing a lot of the world. So I knew that I really wanted to travel. And so I took pretty much every opportunity I had to travel. And I think by the age of 30, I've been to over 50 countries and lived in 4, including US, Norway, Singapore, and now Prague being my home for the last 9 years.
Oh, wow.
So I've started my career in
Yeah.
retail and quickly moved to e-commerce marketplaces.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think somewhere along this way, I sort of lost my ambition to be entrepreneur. And I think that was due to fear of taking risks,
Yes.
self-doubt, and not enough supporting women around me who encouraged me to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I still had the opportunity to work with startups, and I think they kind of helped me to reinforce my passion for entrepreneurship. And
Yeah.
then everything has changed when my second daughter was born, and that was the COVID time.
Yes.
That was kind of my turning point where I finally got the courage and leaped into the entrepreneurship. I started consulting and I started working with women as a mentor and facilitating different workshops for women in acceleration programs, in mentorship programs, and other programs that help women to grow personally and professionally. Also, a little bit later, I co-founded organization Invest in Bravery that I represent today. And this is a nonprofit that helps startups to connect with the investors. Maybe talking about the impact. I think impact was always part of my journey, and it's been shaped by three key experiences. Number one is growing with a sister who had a physical disability taught me early about the importance of diversity and inclusion. Number two was traveling the world, because traveling the world really opened my eyes to the beauty of cultures, but it also helped me to understand the huge economic disparity and also climate change that exists around the world. So again, it kind of early on opened my eyes into thinking about the impact and why, things are different in different places in the world. And then the third experience was my own, climbing the career ladder, working in both corporate companies and startups, and then becoming a mother really exposed me to the issues of gender gap and the barriers that women face while balancing motherhood and work entrepreneurship. And I think now, as a mom of two young girls, I really understand why supporting women is so important. And there's a lot of research that shows that women lead a collaborative way. And as you know, as we all know, we live in this crazy world right now with a lot of bad news everywhere. And I do believe that we need to bring critical mass of women at the table, to the table, to make sure we can build this sustainable future together, future without wars, without hunger, without climate collapse. And that's kind of been my mission and impact going forward since COVID time and then war in Ukraine. But perhaps we can cover that a little bit later in the next question.
Yes, yeah. Thank you very much for sharing your story and also your journey, from someone who's, just got a role model from mom but not really sure about that entrepreneurship, but then you go around the world. That is fantastic here. You go around the world and see the world, and then you come back, and then you maybe, it's time you actually found your passion, and then that's really important, for you being an entrepreneur and supporting other women that, probably going through a similar journey, and then what they will be faced, and then giving them sort of extra hand to supporting them. And then obviously your work in Ukraine is absolutely fantastic. And I think the next question is is about have your definition of success sort of evolved throughout the career, and what does success mean to you? And obviously this is really important. What does it really mean to you? And then we want to sort of hear your sort of view or perspective on that.
Thanks, Jan. Great question. I mean, as I think for many people, my definition of success evolved massively over the years. And I think in the beginning of the career, success meant, for me, success meant working for a corporation with a big brand name like Coca-Cola or Procter & Gamble. And I think those were the first two companies I applied for. I failed, probably for the better. and then as I moved to Singapore, I was around 20 years old then financial gain became quite important, because living in Singapore came with a price tag and also peer pressure. So I still remember when after a few years working for one company, I got a promotion with a big pay increase. And I felt at the time that, oh my goodness, I've made this. Like life is good. But then, of course, as time progresses, this starts shifting. I think quite early on, being again exposed to the impact parts of life, I realized that I crave some deeper connections, deeper meaning. My success definition started aligning with the family, with relationship, with moments that really matters. I think I've been quite lucky because of having security around me at that time. So I realized that deep connection brings me way more joy than material things. And so when COVID started, I think all of us had a lot of reflections at the time. And for me, as for many people, that was the time when everything slowed down. And I've truly started appreciating little things. This was the time as well when I could focus fully on entrepreneurship and on supporting women as my passion. And at this moment, my definition of success changed to seeing other women grow, helping them, scaling their ideas. And then full scale war in Ukraine started. And that's, of course, turned things upside down again. It's very difficult to put in words how kind of the mindset shifted at the time. But when your country is at war, when you see families turn apart, cities destroyed, and your loved ones get killed, material things becomes completely irrelevant. So for me, the definition of success became how I contribute for Ukraine to win, whether it is a donation or being there for a friend or facilitating workshops for women rebuilding their life or helping startups to grow, get them funded. Any action, however big or small, matters. And this is what is my definition of success now, is to act, to contribute, to continue being resilient, and just, be there together, united with your nation and trying to help in whatever way you can, small or big one.
Absolutely. I mean, thank you for sharing the sort of your journey in terms of how those success mean to you at a different stage of your life and how that changed, and then what's really important to your heart, and what you can to do back to giving. So instead of having, but it's a giving back to the society. And I really appreciate the work. I think it's an opportunity for us to sort of thank you for the work that you have been doing for those difficult time. And then we are really hoping we're coming to the end of the war, and then we can supporting those women to thrive in the future. Thank you so much. And then that comes to the last question. What would be the the advice that you would give it to women entrepreneurs who are really defining their success on their own terms? Any piece of advice we would love to hear from you.
Thank you. Another great question. We live in a world that really tries to define success in extremes. Either you're a powerful winner or you're a weak loser. The pressure to be strong, influential, and wealthy is everywhere. But as all of us seek that definition of success, I think we have to resist that narrative. I think that success isn't about fitting into someone else's definition. It's really finding the way how you can contribute in the way that is meaningful to you. Success, not just about what you achieve, but what you contribute. I wish for everyone to find the ways to contribute in their own way, through their work, through their passion, through their community. And I wish,
big, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. And we have to be brave, we have to be resistant, we have to be ambitious. Go ahead and chase all your goals with everything you have. And I think we shouldn't buy into the myth of success being a solo journey, because I do genuinely believe that the best kind of success is the one that's shared.
Yes. Oh, that's really, really insightful. And thank you for sharing with us. And thank you so much, Lola, for your time. And it's very, really insightful, to share your journey with us. And, we really appreciate your time with us, and then we wish you all the best and every success in venture to supporting those women in Ukraine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And now we've just come to the end of a 3 successful women entrepreneurs interview. But I just want to sort of, take a couple minutes to reflect on these questions. It's your individual work. We're not going to, but you can, more than happy for you to share with the chat to us as well. But I want you to think about, what are your thoughts on what you have just, heard and shared, learned from the three guest speakers we have today. Did anything sort of resonate with your own experience? And how do you define success in your own journey? And another one is about a bit reflection is, what's the one takeaway from the guest speaker's story that you can apply to your business or your life? Yeah, so these are sort of, give us yourself a couple of minutes. We heard the story and the journey those three entrepreneurs have. I just want a couple of minutes for you to, make some notes on your own notebook, or if you want to share with the chats, that'd be great. So let me have a look. We have a lot of interaction. Yeah.
Well, Jan, let me just catch you up. There's been lots of interesting chat going on, lots of support, I must say, first of all. So thank you, everyone. I think that's really nice to see so much support for the wonderful women who have joined us today to share their stories. And these are just 3 stories within many. So it's wonderful to see. Lovely, lovely chat.
Absolutely.
Lovely support.
Quickly going through and then see.
And we've got lots of links being shared as well. So I'm definitely going to be copying these links over to go and follow you and see what you are all doing as well. Really fantastic.
Brilliant.
And also, Jan, if anyone feels like sharing the answers to these important questions, I mean, feel free to raise your hand or open up your microphone. It would be lovely to hear more stories, more thoughts, more reflections from everybody. We have a fantastic audience here, so it would be great to hear from others.
Yeah. Or just quickly go through and then let people have a little bit time to reflect on those questions, and obviously, I mean, we will share some of the important things that we gathered today. And I think Lola just shared her business as well in the chat. There's lots of link, like Megan and Miranda said. Brilliant interaction here. We got here and we got Miranda, I like this. I like your definition. Success transforms and evolve with experience, failure, change, relation. We live, we learn. That's brilliant. Thank you, Miranda. Very powerful words. Great. And we got Paula saying, do meaningful work, and pivoting from marketing to communication, from commercial client to EU-funded projects, so that means giving you a great impact and supporting more people. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Brilliant. Okay, so I think, this is leading us very nicely to the next sort of, activity for you to sort of, create and take a moment. This is probably the purpose of this session is actually for you. We've heard incredible stories and different perspective, and now it's time to define success for yourself. You can now creating a success vision board for yourself, and then these are the sort of questions will help you to come up with your own version of success vision board. So what is your ultimate vision for your life and your business? Again, you can either put a chat or your own piece of paper, notebook that you can reflect on as well. So what are your personal goals beyond the business, that you want to achieve? And what does work-life balance look like for you? And how do you want your business to impact your community or the world at large? And what values do you want your business to represent? So again, more than welcome to see, your thoughts on those questions, and then you can use those questions to help you to build your own vision board. So I, give yourself a couple of minutes to go through those questions. So what's your ultimate vision? What are your personal goals beyond the business that you want to achieve? I think, our guest speakers have all shared their personal goals and their passion, and that really been the greatest drive for their business. So it's time to think about yours, and also for women as well. I think Lola said as well, how do you balance the work and the life, and what does that look for you? And how do you want your business, to impact the community? Like Joanne and Sara, they've been doing fantastic work to helping the community, especially those families with special needs children, and that is really unique. And that's how they actually contributing to the disadvantaged group and helping those parents and children with their unique services, and that's how they impact the community, and also creating local jobs to the economy. So those are the ways that they having their powerful contribution to the society. So it'll be interesting to see how you thinking about your impact and the fulfillment in terms of success. So just let me have a look at the chat. Thank you, Megan. Yes, I think, was it Lorraine said that is not linear. You might have, some high, but we all have, times sometimes hard, isn't it? It's hard in those low times, but something better will be around the corner. Yeah, and we're all going to learn from those failures. And we all got Viola. Thank you very much. Saying, especially for us, women is defined, I would say, not just by individual accomplishment, but by how well we connect and support each other. I think back to what Lorraine was saying about their business, and a lot of work we do here as well is to support each other, uplifting and collaborate. Oh, thank you, and I'm glad you like this activity.
Can I just add as well, Jan, that these are very interesting questions, and I think these are good questions to maybe come back to. You might feel a bit under pressure in this moment with a room full of people.
Fine. You don't have to.
Oh gosh, I can't answer this right now, but take a screenshot or note them down and come back to it when you're sitting with your cup of coffee in the afternoon. Have a little think about these things, because we learned this in the wellbeing session that we held in January. It's always really good to reflect and actually to come back to those reflections, because what you're thinking and feeling now in the moment, because gosh, that deadline is so close. Oh my gosh, I need to travel and I need to do this many things for work. It can be really hard to think about these kinds of reflections. So maybe come back to it.
Come back to that. I think it's in, your thought on those may change and evolve as well, isn't it? Yeah, but thank you very much for that. Yeah, for that, Megan. So I think, I want to sort of, maybe make this, this is probably my, perspective on success, or, by working with those women. So success is personal, you define it and you own it. Success is about fulfillment, not just about financial gain. And success is ever changing, and what works today may evolve tomorrow. And success is about staying true to your value. So these are the sort of reflection that we have, by working with those entrepreneurs. But I think before we sort of come to the end of the session, I wanted to let everyone know, I certainly copy the link, or Megan maybe, as well, we'll share that as well, is of E4 platform, learning platform. We have a dedicated learning pathway for women entrepreneurs. And this pathway is designed to provide a tailored support, resources, and practical learnings, and to help women to start, grow, and scale the business with confidence. So beyond the learning, we also wanted to celebrate, like we did today, to showcase inspirational women making the big waves in Europe. And this is an example. If you're going to the E4 platform, find those pathways, then you will see how these case studies, women were breaking the barriers, driving the innovation, and how they redefining success in their industries. And their story serves a very powerful example of resilience, creativity, leadership, and inspiring the next generation of female entrepreneurs. And we will certainly send you the link. You can go direct to those links and have a look. And so if you're looking for some expert insights, practical tools, and motivation to take on your business to the next level, explore the E4 platform. And there's also, like we mentioned earlier, as Joanne talked about her journey as a starting up, we have a section on finance as well, you know, business plan, cash flow, etc. It's all in the E4 platform. So we want you to, you know, take an opportunity to join us on the session, and also looking at those success and give you some inspiration and to help you with your business. So this will bring us to the final call to action. You know, like we said, Megan will send you the link as well. And I believe you also have some evaluations as well. But also, I think I want to mention for those joining today as well, tomorrow, we will have a session on future proof, so about sustainability and also AI and digitalization. So if you haven't signed up for tomorrow's session, please sign up. And also we will have a great and two fantastic guest speaker join us tomorrow as well. So we would love to see you. And my colleague Roz and will be also leading a session on Thursday, where we're going to talk about women in health, women's health at workplace. Will be really interesting, and for those who haven't signed up as well, so if you could join us as well, we look forward to see you in the next coming days, Wednesday and Thursday. And I believe, Megan, you have an evaluation that you want to...
I do. I just want to take a few minutes to wrap up here and say thank you to everyone, especially to Jan for organising all of our wonderful speakers today, to our speakers for joining us as well. So let me just share my screen briefly, as I've got a few things that I want to show to you.
I stop sharing for now.
Yes, please. Yeah, thank you, Jan.
No problem.
So you might have just seen in the chat that my colleague Marianella mentioned a wonderful resource book that we've got. We're putting this together, and this will be updated throughout the week as we've got different resources coming through. Let me just open the chat so that I can share this link with you. Within here, you'll find lots of great things. You'll find some information about our speakers as well, their websites and so on. So I encourage you to go and take a look, go and see what's in there, but also come back tomorrow and on Thursday, because there will be more added. And then if you can please spare 2 minutes of your time to complete our feedback evaluation survey. This really helps us to make sure that the next event is even better, that we can support even more entrepreneurs through the Entrepreneurship Academy, through other events that we're running, and of course through our learning platform. So please do take a moment to complete the survey. And then finally, just a reminder that, of course, we will be back tomorrow and on Thursday for 2 more sessions. We'll be with Jan and with Roz, and we've got lots of wonderful speakers coming up as well. Do we have any final questions before we say goodbye for today?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the chat as well to see, some attendees are sharing. Is it Vola? Yeah,
Viola, you are welcome to complete it now. If you'll be coming back on Wednesday and Thursday, you can complete it after the final sessions that you attend. But we just want to make sure that everyone has the chance, because we know that some people are maybe not able to join for every session. So Viola, please feel free to complete it today if you're only attending today, or complete it on Wednesday or Thursday if you're coming on the other days. Okay?
Yeah, and like, take the final opportunity to thank Lorraine, Lola, Joanne and Sara for joining us today and sharing their journey and share their story with us. It's been very insightful and fascinating to hear your story, and we will share their information with every one of you. And thank you very much again for the time and support.